It was a cold, rainy night in the heart of the city. Streetlights flickered as the wind whispered through empty alleys. The usual rush of the day had faded, and now only the hum of distant cars and the occasional footsteps echoed through the streets. Jason, a university student in his early 20s, zipped up his worn-out jacket as he walked home from his late shift at the local diner. He had dreams bigger than the city he lived in, but for now, he was just trying to make ends meet, balancing part-time jobs with late-night study sessions. As he approached his small apartment building, he noticed a figure sitting by the front door, huddled beneath a soaked hoodie. Her knees were drawn up to her chest, and she shivered with each gust of wind. Jason hesitated. He'd seen homeless people before, like anyone living in the city, but something about her made him stop. Maybe it was her age, she looked no older than him. Or maybe it was the silent desperation in her posture. He cleared his throat gently, not wanting to startle her. She looked up slowly, her eyes wide, tired, and filled with a mix of fear and hopelessness. Her lips trembled, not just from the cold, but as if trying to find the courage to speak. I'm sorry, she said softly. I didn't mean to be in your way. I have nowhere to sleep. Jason's heart clenched. She didn't ask for money. She didn't even ask for help. She only whispered that one line, like it cost her every ounce of dignity she had left. He looked around. The streets were nearly empty, and rain continued to fall. She was soaked through. He took a deep breath, thinking quickly. You can come inside for a bit, he said. Just to warm up. She hesitated, but something in his voice reassured her. Jason opened the door, letting her in first. The hallway light buzzed above them. As they reached his apartment, a tiny one-room space with barely enough room for a single bed, a small table, and a mini kitchen, she stood awkwardly at the door, afraid to enter fully. I won't stay long, she said. I just needed somewhere dry. It's okay, Jason said, turning on the heater. Sit by the radiator. You'll feel better. She nodded gratefully and crouched down near the warmth. He poured her a cup of tea and handed her a dry towel. She took it, hands shaking. I'm Jason, he said, offering a small smile. Emily, she replied. I haven't slept in a real bed in weeks. Jason looked around his modest place. The only bed was his, and even that wasn't much, just a mattress on a wooden frame, pushed against the wall. He knew what he had to do. You can sleep here tonight, he said. She looked up, startled. No. I can't take your bed. I'm serious. You take the bed. I'll sleep on the floor. I've done it before. But? No buts. You're freezing, you're soaked, and you're exhausted. Please. Her eyes filled with tears, but she quickly blinked them away. She nodded slowly. That night, Emily lay on Jason's bed, wrapped in a warm blanket, her body finally relaxed for the first time in days. Jason lay on the floor with an extra pillow and a folded blanket, staring at the ceiling. They didn't speak much, but the silence wasn't uncomfortable. It was peaceful. The next morning, sunlight peeked through the blinds. Emily woke up and immediately sat upright, surprised she had slept so well. Jason was already up, boiling water for coffee. She looked at him with deep gratitude. I don't know how to thank you. You don't have to. Just, take care of yourself. She bit her lip, then asked, Can I stay one more night? Just one. I'll leave after that. Jason nodded. As long as you need. But maybe tell me a bit about what happened. She hesitated, then finally spoke. Emily had aged out of foster care a few months earlier. With no family, no savings, and no guidance, she tried to survive on her own. Jobs were hard to keep when you didn't have an address. She'd been sleeping in parks, shelters, and sometimes not sleeping at all. Jason listened carefully, never interrupting. He realized how quickly life could change. Anyone could end up like her. He offered her leftover food from the night before and even helped her make a list of places that offered support for young adults in her situation. One night turned into two, then three. By the end of the week, Emily had cleaned the entire apartment, helped Jason with groceries, and even made him dinner using whatever was left in the fridge. Jason didn't ask her to leave. He didn't want to. Her presence changed the energy in the room, softer, lighter, more alive. Eventually, Jason helped her apply for a job at a nearby bookstore where his friend worked. Emily was nervous during the interview, but she smiled. Genuinely, for the first time in weeks. When she got the job, she hugged Jason tightly, eyes brimming with tears again. "You believed in me when I didn't believe in myself," she whispered. "I just gave you my bed," he replied. "No, you gave me more than that. You gave me dignity." Over the next few months, things got better. Emily saved up and eventually found a shared apartment. She didn't move far from Jason. In fact, they kept in touch daily. They would meet for coffee, help each other with errands, and sometimes just sit and talk. People often walked by them, just two friends laughing at some inside joke, but they had no idea about the night everything changed. The night he gave her his bed and slept on the floor. One day, Emily surprised him. She handed him a small wrapped box. Jason opened it to find a handmade photo frame. Inside was a simple sketch she had drawn of that night. It showed her curled up in the bed, and him, peacefully sleeping on the floor, a small smile on his face. "You kept me warm," she said. "Now I'll never forget." Years passed. Jason graduated and became a teacher. Emily, inspired by her journey, became a social worker, helping teens who were in the same position she once was. They never lost touch. Their story, one that began on a cold, rainy night, became something they carried with them forever. It wasn't about the bed or the floor. It was about kindness. Silent, humble, and without expectations. Jason never imagined that opening his door that night would change not just her life, but his too. Because sometimes, when you help someone stand, you rise with them. That is the kind of story we believe in here at Sporit. The quiet, powerful moments that restore your faith in humanity. If this story touched your heart, share it with someone who might need hope today. And remember, your simple act of kindness can be someone's miracle. Thank you for watching.